Hi everyone, I'm using the Crow Tarot for our reading today. I'll choose 3 cards, read the base of the pack. I'll also choose 3 from the Destiny pack as well for some extra guidance. We're on the 1st of May, which is Beltane. Lots of people celebrate Beltane today on the 1st of May. Astrologically, it is on the 5th of May when Taurus is, the sun is 15 degrees in Taurus, so it's happening over this lunar eclipse, so powerful energies for the 5th of May. Pluto today goes in stationary, so it stays stationary. It's a big planet that moves very slowly, so it's asking us to be still, to maybe look at our lives, look at what we do each day, our good habits and our habits that don't benefit us at all, but we're stuck in those habits. But once we start to see them, we're bringing awareness to them and we're able to start the healing process. So Pluto is asking us to look at things in our life that are really holding us back, old habits, old thought forms. Mercury is in retrograde in Taurus and has been in retrograde since the solar eclipse. Soon after the solar eclipse, Mercury went into retrograde in Taurus, so asking us to look at what we're doing in our environment, in our physical life. Where are we going back into old situations that it's time for us to move on from, trying to fix things around us that is way out of our control. So these two energies, Pluto and Mercury, are asking us to really stay still and pause before we react to something that triggers us, to pause before we speak, making sure we are not speaking from those old habitual emotions, those old habitual statements that just seem to come out of our mouths. So we're being held in this place to really look at ourselves, not anyone around us, to actually look within, look at how we are behaving in our lives. This time is one of regrowth, rebirth, allowing us to grow and expand into the authenticity of who we are without being influenced by anyone else around us. There is an inner light within us, a sacred fire of passion within us, and it's building and building as we focus on what is good in our lives, what we enjoy, and stay focused there, and really staying in that place of visualizing our lives. And today, the celebration of Beltane, lighting a red candle this evening and staring into the flame, all your visualizations, and being open to receiving even greater gifts in our lives, being flexible that way, that we're not just staying rigid on this is how I want my life to be, because in doing so we miss out on a universal energy, a divine energy that wants to really bring us so much more. So today, on this first day of May, having the time to just sit outside in nature. Taurus, the sun is in Taurus, so it's all about the feeling. When we go into that stillness, we can feel the energies all around us. We can feel our angels, our guides, our loved ones. When we go into stillness and we start to really ask the questions, because we will always receive answers, whether it is through something in the physical realm, a message comes through on a sign, or someone brings us the answer to what we have been asking. Lots of symbology going on around, as well as Saturn is in Pisces, bringing in the symbolism, helping us to make sense of the untangible, the spiritual, that is so powerful. Lots of downloads coming in, bringing in the divine intelligence, activating us and awakening our DNA, so that we can grow into the authentic being that we are, to take on someone else's journey is depriving us. We all have within us this inner fire, this inner flame of passion, which is growing and growing, and every time we focus on what it is that we wish to manifest in our lives, that upliftment, that joy, that confidence that it brings within us, that empowerment, that flame is growing within us and growing into our energy field and into our reality, and allowing anything now that puts doubt within us, or about our path, our journey, allowing that doubt to lose its grip. Doubt is a good thing, because we go through things in lives and we have this doubt, and when everything turns out far greater than what we expected, we lose a little bit of that doubt then, because we see that everything that we've gone through in our lives may have been challenging, deeply upsetting, heartbreaking, but we always come through. And as we go through those dark nights of the soul that we've all been going through, and we come out with greater joy for life, with greater appreciation for life. And we're all now opening up. We are like these flowers starting to open up now into the light, bringing in the divine light, those divine rays, those light codes that come into earth. And not just are we absorbing these light codes, but every single blade of grass, every flower holds its own individual blueprint, and we're all being activated. So a beautiful day and time of celebration. during Beltane, the 1st of May, the veil is thin. And the veil helps us to see what is no longer serving us, what we've carried for far too long. For the simple fact we didn't even realise we were carrying it until we start to do the inner work. And as we are now doing the inner work continuously, so something may happen in our life, but it doesn't affect us the way it would, the way it used to. We are able to use our tools of dissolvement, of taking our attention, our thoughts away from whatever it is that's causing any kind of disruption within us, within our lives. We are taking ownership, responsibility of the energy that we are transmitting to everyone around us. So this is a wonderful time. I just feel we've turned the corner. Things in life will challenge us, but we will deal with them with patience, with more peace, with more compassion, with empathy and more enlightenment. So this is a time, a beautiful time of growth, a beautiful time of celebration. Celebrate Beltane by lighting a red candle and staring into that flame of your wonderful inspirations, and allowing for something even better to manifest into our lives, being flexible. On the 4th, on the morning of the 5th of May, where it's astrologically Beltane, everything comes into alignment on that day for Beltane, for the Sabbath, to go out into nature and take some morning dew, because that morning dew holds potent magic. It's where Mother Earth is bursting with life. She's awakening. She's bursting with life. It's when the green man and the goddess come together with their divine creations. And as we take the dew, collect some in a jar, I usually take a small jar and collect it in a small jar, and I'll place it in my bath, or I'll put some in my cream, even just put it on your face, because it holds divine intelligence of awakening, of rebirth, of life. So Mother Earth is assisting us during this time of immense transformation, of actually waking up to who we are individually. And as we take on this individual energy that is so unique to every single one of us, that is when that flame within us starts to build, that passion that we are here to shine our light, to do things that are in alignment with our own authenticity, and to really feel the joy of life. And as we fill with joy and as we fill with gratitude, the past is transmuted. We're so focused on the gift of life. So I'm asking for a message for the highest and greatest good for the collective, or anyone who views this video. I'll choose 3 cards with the base of the pack. There we have the Queen of Wands, the Mystic, the 9, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Swords. Okay. So we have the Queen of Wands, and she's sat there. The crow is sat there, balanced perfectly between these 2 lions, bringing that strength through. The sun is there, and she has the crown above her head, symbolising she is in alignment. Her crown is fully opened. The sunflowers are about abundance, about looking up to the light. The sunflower follows the light all around, faces the light. So the Queen of Wands is within us all. It's the mystic that's within us all, who uses energy to manifest, knowing that whatever we focus on, we will give growth to. And the 9 of Pentacles is bringing us financial gain, some money, finances coming in from different sources that we didn't really focus on. So being open to receiving abundance from all different directions of our life, not just having that one focused attention that this is the only way that we can draw in prosperity into our lives. Being open to receiving the gifts of abundance, divine abundance that are flowing now from the sun. And this is a card saying that we are going to be in a place of financial stability. To take that step back, the wolf there is the protector, our spiritual protector. And we've got the tree of growth there, so our roots planted deep into Mother Earth, connecting with the ley lines, with the crystalline grid, with the heart of Mother Earth, holding us firm and keeping us grounded through this time of rebirth. And then we have the 3 of Swords again. So that we're still working on this energy. So even though things are starting to manifest in our lives, there's still an element of grief, of sadness, which is what Pluto is bringing up, and this lunar eclipse in Scorpio, asking us to look within our hearts at how we're being hard on ourselves, maybe holding guilt for something that we have done in the past that saddens us. Maybe it's the grief of a loved one. So the grief is weighing heavy in our hearts. And 2 things: we hold grief in our heart and sadness. There's no room for happiness. There's no room for expansion. It contracts our heart. And as we are having sad thoughts, each thought is going into our heart. So take some time honouring grief. It's a powerful energy that bleeds out into our life without us even realising. It comes out through anger, it comes through exhaustion. So maybe people feeling exhausted during this time of these big energies that are coming from the cosmos and coming up from the heart of Mother Earth as she is waking up in the northern hemisphere and withdrawing in the southern hemisphere. So lots of big changes going on. Feeling the energies all around us. So we're in Taurus, which is all around our feelings. Navigate our way through this time. Allow these feelings to surface. Quietening our minds, spending some time in meditation, connecting with our loved ones in spirit as we quieten and we allow our minds to become still or peaceful, not latching on to any thoughts that come in, allow them to come and go. And then we start to connect with higher consciousness. And we start to receive messages from the spirit realm. And they will only come through with love. And bring confirmation through and evidence through that there is a spirit world, that we are connected to our loved ones in spirit. And they will help to heal our hearts. There is a spiritual healing occurring as I'm reading these cards, that our loved ones are coming around us as the veil's so thin and pouring spiritual healing within our hearts and within our minds, so that we can connect, that we will hear those clear communications from spirit, and it's not contaminated by the sadness that we hold or the guilt that we may hold. Because when we hold on to guilt, we start to punish ourselves in ways that we are not aware of. We start to sabotage. So we have Pluto station in to go retrograde, still appears to be stationary. Mercury in retrograde in Taurus, asking us to really feel our feelings, not suppress them, not pretend they're not there, to really acknowledge them during this time. So immense healing occurring around our minds and around our thoughts. So sitting in silence, sitting outside in nature, feeling the energy of nature, really tuning in to our senses, tuning in to our psychic senses, our intuition, because as we tune in and awaken our psychic gifts, we then start to connect with the higher consciousness. So immense spiritual gifts flow into earth, being gentle with ourselves and opening our hearts, not being afraid to let love in any longer, to let love in and not look for things that armour us, because in doing so we've got into resistance and we start pushing people away. We start telling ourselves that we would be happier on our own, or we would be happier if we move from this situation. But in truth, it would only cause more challenges. It's healing that we have not given ourselves, that we will take into our life if we're holding on to grief, holding on to any kind of sorrow, any kind of guilt. That is going to go into all our manifestations, and our loved ones in spirit don't want us. They are helping us heal and uplift us from these dense, painful emotions. And grief is very natural. It's a natural process that we all go through. When we've loved someone so deeply and they pass on into spirit world, the grief of their physical presence in our lives can be unbearable at times. And to be gentle with ourselves as we're feeling this, not to suppress it, not to feel that it's wrong to feel grief. Grief is a master. It teaches us. It teaches us so much. And so when we see grief as sacred, it's pure and sacred because it's a love in our life, and each person that passes holds a different energy in our lives. So when the energy is no longer there, the feelings that we have for that person has got nowhere else to go. So it comes as grief. And it's to honour that. It's natural, it's sacred, but not to start to go into guilt of how things may have been different, because everything is in divine order. So even though there's these beautiful uplifting energies, there's still the sadness that Pluto is bringing up for us through this lunar eclipse. And the moon, the full moon, is all around our feelings. It's all around our shadow, especially the eclipse, because the eclipse is, even though it isn't as strong as a full lunar eclipse, it's a partial. It's where the shadow of Earth moves onto the moon. So there's some shadow stuff coming up for us. Grief is beautiful. How we blame ourselves or hold on to guilt is the shadow. And is here to be cleansed. So sit in silence. We don't have to go into the deepest sorrows. We don't have to go in and really pull everything apart. It's just the awareness that it's time to let these thoughts that are hurting our hearts heal, so that we can open our crown like the Queen, the Divine Feminine, allowing our grief to bring wisdom and empathy and spiritual enrichment. And the base of the pack is strength. Wow. We are strong. We can do this. Whatever challenges we are facing, we can do it. Staying gentle with ourselves. Not letting our mind, as Mercury is in retrograde, not letting our mind start to regurgitate old stuff. We're strong, we can do this. And again, the infinity symbol and the lion clothed in roses. So whatever we're facing, we are within us divinely supported, within and all around us. This strength, and this is the card connected to Leo. Yeah, this is the card connected to Leo, full of creative passion and drive. And as we grow now from this 1st of May through Beltane up until the Lionsgate, energies, upgrades constantly now. And anything that is not of that light, we'll receive the enlightenment, we'll receive the insight, so it's easy for us to move forward. Not like before, things are getting easier as things come in, challenges come in, the insights are dropping in and assisting us in being able to dissolve the past that's no longer serving us, that is like an heavy rock that we're carrying. And the strength to say no when it's not in our, doesn't feel right. Being able to say no without any explanation, just being who we are. So I'm asking now for a message from the Destiny Pack. Highest and greatest good for the collective or anyone who views this video. So I'm asking now for a card for the Queen of Wands. We have the dog, unconditional love. And the Nine of Pentacles, relationship. The Three of Swords. The Moon, of course. The Moon is bringing this up for our medicine. It's our medicine to heal this, to really allow it to surface and cleanse it from the guilt, from regret or anything else. And for underneath the strength, we have the card of grief there. So asking for some wisdom. Okay, so for underneath the Queen of Wands, we have the dog, which is unconditional love that asks us to stand in faith and to love unconditionally, love ourselves unconditionally. The Nine of Pentacles, relationships. oneness, feeling at peace now, feeling gratitude for all we have in our lives. Brings in more abundance. And this is with relationships. So powerful energy of seeing with clarity now into our relationships. So prosperity, happiness here, growth in our relationships. The Three of Swords is the moon. So this full lunar eclipse is bringing some sadness that is coming up now to be acknowledged and loved. So don't try and suppress anything. Allow this full lunar eclipse which is the medicine of for our grief. And the Strength card we have, again, this is a card of grief. So think something may be coming up that's causing us some kind of grief. But then we have wisdom there. Using our tools, our self-healing, looking at things from different perspectives. Know that every soul is on its own journey and leaves this physical realm at exactly the time it's meant to and how it's meant to, because they move over, they move on and help from the spiritual realms. So the wisdom that we are receiving, the downloads that we are receiving, the insights are going to help us to see with clarity through the illusion that we're all separate, we're all one, we're just unique beings. At the core of us, we all have divine source energy, and that is pure. And that's where we're moving back to, shifting away the layers now of illusion. And this eclipse portal is helping us to do that. Whether we're grieving someone who's still alive, it might not be someone who's passed. It might be that we're still holding on to sadness of things not working out the way that we would have loved them to, the way that we expected them to. And it's letting go of that regret, because regret is another form of grief, but everything is in divine order. We have the strength to walk our path, to go through our losses and bringing in the insights and the healing. So I'm just going to ask the mystical healer for a message for our highest and greatest good this first day of May. I can feel the heat now coming in. The healing is starting to flow from this reading. I'm asking now for a message. Examine your feelings. So examine your feelings, and you can see there we can be too, we can be too at home with feelings from that are not beneficial. We feel that they're normal. Now it's time to really cleanse from those feelings and listen to our intuition. It will guide us. It's a yes. Time for us to move forward and practice positivity. And you can see there the sun, the ocean, and that boat, and he's looking out into the horizon, looking for shore, looking for a wonderful landscape. So as we're going through this time, this week, you may sail through it, which is wonderful. Take from this reading what resonates and see what happens during this week. And the energy that's coming through is to dance, lift your vibration, smile, do things that are going to bring joy now into our lives to help with the transmutation of anything that is weighing heavy in our hearts. So it's been a long one today. And this is, minimize guilt. Again, something's coming up. We have done the best we can with what we know and what we knew. We've learned. There are no mistakes. There's learning, and we learn from things that really have created challenges in our lives. We've become who we are. So again, guilt coming to the surface with this moon, guilt, grief, however it is entangled. Allow it to come, and as I'm doing this reading, the healing is flowing through. The heat is coming from me. So just know that something is activating, some powerful healing medicine is being activated within you that's going to heal not just ourselves, our ancestors and our generations to come. So powerful reading today. Have a wonderful, wonderful Beltane, celebrating rebirth, happiness, joy, and allowing that joy to now transmute anything that's weighing heavy. So I'm sending so much love, and thank you so much for listening, and God bless. Thank you.